Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Josh.
And we're the Two Beer Queers.
And we are back from our pandemic hiatus because we specifically want to use this podcast and this platform to support Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
Tom and I took a break, and we're back because we are in such a pivotal moment, and we feel that we have to be voicing this, especially as people who have a small platform in DC. And I know that our platform is not very large, but it's still something that we can do to galvanize support and to get resources to the people who are protesting and who are making change on this cause that we so deeply believe in.
We are in a situation where we feel that if we don't do anything, if we don't try to use what platform we have, then we're standing by and watching the oppressors win. And that's just not something that we can do.
So what Tom and I are doing right off the bat is we are taking our funds from Patreon. We're donating half of it to the organizations Freedom Fighters DC, Black Lives Matter DMV, the Bail Project, Black Visions Collective, and the Emergency Release Fund. And then we are taking the other half of that Patreon fund and we're keeping it just as quick cash, something that we can donate to a fund that's going right to protesters, whether it's supplies, whether it's groceries, something that goes right to the people on our streets who are making change in our community.
With this, we are also looking for, if you have any funds that need donations, we're here to boost it. If you are organizing anything, protests, support, bringing supplies out, we want to help.
And if you have something to say, please message us. We will put it on the podcast. And I don't mean that Tom and I will talk about it on the podcast. I mean that you can record something and put it out so that other people can hear it. Specifically, if you are a queer Black person, take the microphone from us. We are here to help you with tech and with access and with editing and whatever else you need to put your message out on somewhere other than your own personal social media channel. It can be anything, whether it's reporting that you want to do or something you saw on the ground, whether it's a story that you want to get out, an issue that you don't think is not getting awareness, or something that you think needs to bring attention to, like a fund or a resource. Anything, message us. We will help you get it out.
And for our white listeners, I think it's important to do our part as well. Whether that's donating, whether that's marching alongside, whether it is just being there. I think there is so much we can do, and we're still in the midst of this pandemic, and I think it's hard for a lot of people to find the right way to show their support and to be active. And so you can do everything from signing a dozen petitions online to donating money. Put your money where your mouth is and show your support to all of these organizations. We have a Google Doc that we'll be sharing out with this that has a link to a bunch of organizations that we're supporting, a list of other organizations that are listing other organizations to support, petitions, bail fund resources, anti-racism resources. Do your research, read, support these people, and find the way that you can help.
And also for our white listeners, we will be putting out content to directly engage with you because it is not the role of a Black person to explain to you how to be a good ally right now. But what Tom and I can talk through is how to engage with other white people, why you should be vocal on these subjects, things that you can do, and how you can use your privilege to specifically help this issue. Also, if you are somebody who has sandwiches that you want to pass out, or if you're a protester who needs food resources, if you're making solutions to help with people who have been tear gassed, or if you have masks that you want to give out or goggles, let us know. The goal for this is to be a hub, because what we want to do is try to get resources where they need to be, even if we're taking them and driving them to where they need to go. We want to try to help our community as much as possible. And the last thing I'll say is that we can all be useful. Everyone has something that they can contribute right now, whether they're on the front lines, whether they're at home taking care of children, whether or not they're feeding the people who are protesting. Tom and I are media people, and so we want to use our skills at media to help get information and stories out and connect. You listening, you have something that you too can contribute. And if you don't know what that is right now, start with your voice, start with your funds, donate where you can. Be vocally supportive, use your privilege to help shake things up and to help make the change that you want to see. And then from there, you will find where you can be useful and how you can benefit Black Lives Matter and their movement. This is Pride Month, and Pride started as anti-police riots. If you're queer, you owe so much of your visibility to those riots and to those protests. That's not to say that you should be supporting the current protests and riots because you're queer, but you should recognize that if you're celebrating Pride Month at all, then you're being hypocritical if you aren't also supporting the protests that are happening right now. And you should be supporting these protests because it is the right thing to do.
And not just supporting, but vocally supporting, actively supporting. There's just too much inaction, and it's years and decades and centuries of inaction. And now is the time that we can work to enact real change.
And if you're a white person who is uncomfortable with the riots, I put out something on my Facebook page to explain some of the reasoning behind why you should support them. If you're going out to protest, Tom has been sharing a lot of resources for protesters that are super helpful. And the social media is a flood right now with helpful resources, not only for how to protest and be an ally, but also to educate yourself on the issue. So take the time, go learn some things, and figure out how you can be most useful and what you can do to help.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be it for this one.
Yeah, I think so. So, thank you for listening. We love you. Stay strong. Keep resisting. And we're in this. Wow, it feels weird to do a podcast without jokes.
I know.
Just us.
Just us. We're the joke.
Unfortunately. All right, goodbye.
Bye.